FedEx showed up. Well, I'm really going to need some scissors and not these. Oh, here we go. There we go. Now, hopefully this is from Bestronic. Yes. Okay. I love this company. So these are my, uh-oh. I think I may be missing some stuff. Let's see. Let me check my order. Hold on. Sorry. I was supposed to include a USB port. Yeah, shoot. Here's my order. So those two. Where's the USB part? Man, did I not order this? I'm feeling so stupid. Oh, wait. I don't need USB for this one. Yeah. What? Ignore that. Sorry. Okay. So what these are is the patch panels. And man, they come with all the XL the hold down clip thingies. Okay, so that's gonna clean stuff up, but let me get this cleaned up a little bit now. So this isn't all that stable because, you know, there's nothing really to hold it there. The zip ties are holding it here this way, but they can't really hold it up and down. I think if I wrap a zip tie around here and then let me grab some big zip ties. We'll see. Should be skate park bound already, but it is really raining crazy today, so maybe not. So before I had this hot glue glued in, and I think on my new one I don't for some reason, and it's working. But what I'm thinking is maybe if I can get it around here and tie it around. Maybe. So I'm gonna have to put a zip tie on the side of it, or else it ain't gonna work. Oh man, that is a long travel for a zip tie. That's enough. I put it in backwards though. Oops. Okay, hold on. This might work. Oh, it might be just too short. Oh man, like millimeters too short, if it's too short. Get some pliers on there and see. Ooh, that did it. All right. Okay, so if I can get one on this side, I think I'm in good shape. That's a kind of a big if, but we're gonna try. And maybe I shouldn't have tightened it before I put the other one through. Oops. I know this is the really fun part, right? Is watching somebody put zip ties in something. But it's all part of the process. Oh man, that is hard to pull through. It's probably the wrongest angle to pull it from too. Maybe if I do it this way. Oh, man. And I want to end it up with the zip tie on the corner. That will probably be the best way to hold it, but maybe not. That's probably about right. Maybe too far, actually, but we'll see. And I got lucky last time that when I pulled it, it even though it snapped it got it far enough where there was I grabbed one of the ratchet bar or whatever these things you call, but I'm gonna use pliers for this one. Real pliers. All right, that is much better. Where's my end nippers? I can use these. That's okay. I feel much more secure about that. I'm gonna put one more on the outside here, but those ones are easy. Now this might make trouble if I have to use a long adapter, and I do have to use one for the line 6 relay, and maybe one for the Shure power supply. So I'm gonna see about that. Okay, so this is in place. Next is these guys, and I'm not sure exactly what I'm using. I think I'm gonna put the outs on this side like I did before. Yeah, outs on the because remember when I flip this over, it's gonna be on the left. Ins on the right, and in is gonna be headphone in. Sorry, mix in. Mix in, power in. I could do a guitar in on the side there, but I usually just plug it into the pedal, the wireless. Oh yeah, so in this case, it's not like the Shure. I don't think you can actually plug it in that way. The Shure you can plug a guitar cable right into the spot. Ah boy. That wire is going to go into the interface. Yeah, that's actually going to be a problem. We'll deal with that. We'll figure that out. But for now, get this open. Well, I got to go by the post office too. Totally forgot. Okay, so here's what we got in here. I am probably going to use one of these like I did on the other pedal board for the electrical. I'm not going to have an FR power out on here, I don't think. I guess I could. But I think I already have them all spoken for. Okay, one is to the PA out. 3 is to I think it's going to be click out, and 4 is going to be cues out. Those guys might get combined, but I don't know that I have a spare one for the PowerCon. But I could. I could do that. We'll see. So I'm just going to screw this in for now. They come with self-tapping screws, and they even give you an extra one, I think. Then there's also the screws for the panels. And I think I have all the panels I need, hopefully. Yeah, see, they give you an extra self-tapping screw. That's really cool. And I really like this company, Bestronics, btpa.com. They really, really give you good stuff and give you extras. Man, if you don't have enough screws, you know, it's gonna suck. Remember last time the panel was actually hitting the ground, but so we had to chop that up. But on this board, it's a little bit taller, so that's not actually a problem on here. I wonder why that one's having trouble going in. Interesting. I don't think I even drilled them last time. I think this thing just cuts right through. Either my battery's dead or I have it set on a mellower setting. Not sure. I better figure that out. I've got several USB-C chargers here, but none of them are plugged in. Yay. Where are you all? I know I have a million of you. Yeah, this board's going to need some double A's, so make sure I put a USB charger and all the double A batteries in there. I think that's right. Yeah, I don't know if the battery's dead. I'll put the one for the other side. I'd love it if they had a patch panel for right here. That's funny. I was freaking out that I didn't have the USB port, but I'm not going to need it. And there's a lot to go on here. And I was working on it at home, like doing most of the programming and stuff. But I may do that here. Yeah, I really need to get out to the skate park, but it's raining crazy over here. There was huge waves yesterday in places that normally look like swimming pools. So I'm going to see if I got enough power with this thing to self-tap these. It's not the best angle. This thing's got a little bit thick. I could probably put an extender on it, but let's just try. see metal. I do have drills if I need them. And that went in. I should probably just use the drill. I really need to charge this. Where are all my chargers? Just had them. See if this will reach. I do have an extender somewhere, but actually that is one. Where did I? Here it is. Okay, that ain't going anywhere. All right, so this side is in. I realized that I put something in wrong, so I won't be able to plug a power into the on the other pedal board into something I need to power. So what I'm really going to do, this is going to be emergency. If I have to, I'll break this open and use it as a regular extension cord, but it's going to normally be stuck to here, which is going to have a power con in it. I have a very short extension cord tied to this, and that is going to be for this will plug into that, and then I'll have a power con extension cord on the other side. So the way I'm going to do that is I got this 15-foot cord from the hardware store. I actually have one on order from Amazon, but it's taken a while to get here. So I'm going to use this female end. And I got to get this wiring right. Hopefully this is color coded. If not, we'll use the multimeter and ring it out. But I'm just basically going to have maybe that long. So this is a 15-foot cable, so I'll have plenty left over. I wasn't planning on having an FR out, but I could. If I have to. Okay. So black, white, and green. I think that's going to be right. You never know, though. It probably pays to double check. So we're going to do, and get to a, well, I don't know how I'm going to actually do this. 1 second. Let me get a keyboard. Oh, it's actually from Bestronix, this picture right here. So the company I got this from, they have, sorry, let me put that on there. They have their wiring diagram. Okay. So green should be ground. Check that. Yep. The bigger slot, so you can't tell from here. But when you're looking at a power cable, see, I want to see, like, you know how there's a big slot and a little slot on the power Um, just make sure. Oh yeah, it's not going to work. Where is it? So the bigger one is white. Okay, I think that's going to be right. So let me get. All right, and let me know. Is a mic working? Yeah, it looks like it. Okay. Okay. So it's saying black. I'm looking at this PowerCon connector. So where's the key? It's on the bottom. Black on this side, white on this side, green here. And I'm going to solder it right to it. And what we did last time is I actually used one of these to cover it a little bit because, man, I don't like, man, electricity scares me, right? I love my soldering iron. I love electronics, but AC power, woohoo, always makes me nervous. So I'm going to cover it as much as I can. I may hot glue the crap out of it. I think that's what I did with the last one. I may not need to. We'll see. But I'm going to keep these pretty short. The stripped part anyway. And I hate cutting this part. I just hate it. So I may do this if I can get it in there. Not cut lengthwise or across the cable. Yeah, this is much better. I need much smaller cutters for that. Those are end nippers. Don't I have side cutters? Yeah, if I can get these in there, that'll be a lot less scary. And like I say, I want to keep it short, so I don't want to make it, I don't want to strip it back too far. And I can always make it further back if I have to. Soldering iron's on. When I'm doing these kind of plastic connectors, I really like to plug them into the other side. It helps keep them from messing up. I don't know about power cons, but a lot of them have that kind of problem. D subs, the worst. DB25s, when we used to have to do that for the Tascam D88s, and I think a lot of products still use that. So I could do female spade lugs on here. I'm going to solder them. I feel better about solder. I actually had one of these come apart, this end, before practice the other day, and it was the screwed in part, and I'm thinking about just soldering those in too, because I do not want that to come loose. That was a problem. Okay, so I think what I could do is screw into that, and I'll maybe backwards. Okay, so I'm gonna have to put it through before I solder them. You know, if I have to change something later on, I'm gonna be kind of in trouble. But I know where the green's gonna go. Okay, white is on. I'm looking from the back like it says I am. So white. This is backwards, of course. That's not easy. That's in. I know where green goes. Yeah, that's pretty solid. In order to power it, I'm going to do this end. So let's get that while we can. So I do have some spare PowerCon connectors, but don't need all this crap. I love all these warnings. Like, you're going to have the time to read this when you're dying. I hope I'm okay with 15 feet. I mean, it's not using much power, but if I do plug an FR in, then yeah, it's going to use some power. So this one uses screws to hold in, and that's what happened to my last one, that the screws fell out, or the screw came loose, it popped out. And I'm really scared of that. So I think I'm going to solder this in. I'm going to screw it in and solder it in. How about that? The danger after that is that it wiggling back and forth breaks the connection, and it will eventually if it does get enough wiggles. But hopefully there's not too many wiggles involved in this. A lot of people don't even tin these; they just screw it in. It's good. I like to tin them. I know that it kind of can make things weaker, but I am a solder jockey, man. Like, I want it soldered. It should be a little bit longer than the last ones because they're going to go into those holes. And I couldn't even see that I hadn't twisted these enough before I put the visor on. And getting old, I give it a 0 out of 5 stars. Would not recommend. Do not get old. Can't see anymore, and your body parts just don't work right. Monday, I'm going in to talk about my knees with a orthopedic surgeon. So that's what happens when you get old. So I'm gonna screw these in, but like I said, I'm probably going to solder them in as well. I better make sure these are right. Okay, so white. Ooh, okay, hold on. White is neutral. Okay. Yeah, the other side is different. You know, it's opposite, right? So white. This one's marked. It says N, L, and probably going to say G somewhere. And N is white. Yep, so that lines up. Hopefully I can solder this. We'll see. That was very nerve-wracking last time. I didn't know what was wrong. I was hoping my helix didn't blow up or something. That's not fitting. It might be the tinning is too much. Oh, that went in. Okay. This is the downfall of making them too short. It's kind of hard to get in there, but yeah, I'm not at all confident in that. Screwed in part. screwdriver rack. I mean, this should stay put, but I already had one fail, so. I'm gonna buy another one of these visors. Like when I'm out in the field, I can't see. The other cool thing is these things have lights. So if I want to solder these, man, that's going to be hard. I could try and fill the bucket up with solder. Yeah, I don't know if I can. I'm just going to have to screw this in real good. It shouldn't come out, but it did. So super paranoid about this now. But like I said, the reason I'm doing it this way is if everything goes wrong, I'll cut the zip ties and just pull this out, and then I'll have power. Let me see if I can't solder this, though. Like, I feel a lot better. This one I probably can. Feels like a cold solder joint. I still need to try that eutectic whatever solder. It's supposed to be way better. Not leave you cold joints. I don't know if that's doing it or not. That is not filling me with confidence. Not really sure what a good way to do that would be, but hopefully that'll do. Still got to go hospital and grab x-rays and post office, and should be hopefully have a part in. We can plug this in and test this actually. I think this thing turns blue when it's on, or I could just plug something into it. Okay. Electricity scares me. I'm really uncomfortable with it. One of my good friends I grew up with is an electrician. It helps. He's had to save the school so many times. I think that's right. No. Should be 2 nicks. There you go. Now this is kind of a skinny wire to be using for this. Maybe I should go higher, especially if I'm putting an FRFR. But the way these Neutrik things work, this thing's going to lock pretty hard once it's screwed in, or it should. Yeah, that's a pretty decent bite. I could make it stronger, but I think that's okay. All right, so now this part, probably should hot glue it. Let's see how good this cap covers it. I think I hot glued the other one. I'm going to key this up. This is in, and I'm going to have maybe headphones in. Maybe I could do a 1/4 inch in. It's gonna be a weird setup. Yeah, it's just because of the way that this other wireless works. I do have one more wireless. It's another Shure. If you want to use that one, I thought I slid this over on the other one. Let me look at my other pedal board. Oh, yeah, went all the way over. Okay. Somehow there's a way to do it. Let's, yay! Look at how I'm keying this. Put 2 screws to hold it in. Aside from learning Gig Performer, the most confusing part about this to me was blocking the phantom power. There are Rapco, I think it was, has a $26 single DI, and that should work okay for this. I think it's a 1-to-1. I'm not 1000% positive, but could be. Now, I'm screwing it together like I know it's going to work, but we don't know that. We're going to plug it in and test it. I could make a Y cord. I'm really trying to think of how to plug in. I do have 4 inputs on that interface. I could have one for the outside guitar and one for the wireless. I'm just trying to think of how I can plug in a cable instead of the wireless when I need to do it that way. That is kind of going to be a pain. Okay, so I'm plugging this in. We're going to plug in the other side. Let's see if this thing lights up. That is slick. All right, cross your fingers, see what kind of color smoke we get out. Blammo, turn blue. It is on. All right. So that works. Yay, one bridge burned. So I have some decisions to make. This I definitely need to tie these wires up. This is gonna be the biggest mess in here is this wire. But leaving it long, like I say, it's an escape route. If I have to, I can pull this out and just run it as a regular extension cord. Really, where am I tying it to? How am I tying it down? Power in. mixer in, maybe guitar in. Output for sure, at least one going to the PA, and then I'm going to have others that are supposed to go to headphones and stuff. What I was thinking was I was going to make files with the music on the left-hand side and a click on the right-hand side, or vice versa, whatever. And then you could mix yourself. What do you want? You want more click? You want more music? Or I could mix them together. I'm trying to think of what bridge to burn next. So it's 2 o'clock, so I really actually got to split. All right. I guess stay tuned for part 3. I'm going to shut this down for now. And then hopefully tomorrow. What do I have tomorrow? I don't think I have anything tomorrow. Let me look on the schedule real quick. Build's gonna be a while, and then like actually making it work. I'm still kind of struggling with learning the software, but it's awesome. Tomorrow I have no show. Okay, yeah, that's all for today. I thank you guys for tuning in. I'll see you later.